In the world of Avalon Online, modern military tactics collide with high fantasy. United States Force Recon Marines execute flanking maneuvers alongside elven mages, laying down suppressing fire against cybernetic chimeras. Strike Force 11, led by Master Chief Gogo, is fighting a two-front war. Their enemy, a force called the Apelts, is using a network of dimensional gates to stage a physical invasion of Earth. To stop it, Gogo's raiders must dismantle the Apelt leadership from inside the virtual environment of Avalon. But the squad faces a specific crisis. One of their key operatives, Holly, has had her physical vessel forcefully severed from her digital consciousness by Apelt magic. She is trapped inside the game engine as an avatar construct. This diagram shows the mechanics of that severance. When a player's data tether snaps, they receive a disembodied soul debuff. Their health regeneration drops by half, and the respawn mechanic is disabled. If Holly takes a fatal hit in combat, or if the server undergoes a routine reset, her consciousness will scatter. Before Strike Force 11 can halt the invasion of Earth, they must launch an extraction mission into Avalon's most hostile, permadeath-enabled zones. Their only option is to find a way to anchor Holly's soul before the system deletes her signature. Gogo deploys a detachment led by his executive officer, Kevlar, into Camelot. This is a sovereign digital nation governed by an AI interpreting Arthurian legend. Upon entering, an ancient barrier called the Aegis of Avalon disables all of the squad's modern technological weaponry. Stripped of railguns, Kevlar's team relies on their high fantasy combat training. Their objective is to locate Archmage Merlin, whose magic is older than the AI governing the servers, granting him the ability to manipulate the game's foundational code. Merlin requires a specific reagent to stabilize Holly's digital signature. The squad pushes through the zone to extract the Chalice of Mending, which the Archmage uses to perform a localized ritual at the Round Table. The magic anchors Holly's soul to reality, giving her a stable form that survives a server reset. With their teammates secured, Strike Force 11 regains its tactical footing. They immediately shift from a defensive scramble into a coordinated offensive campaign. Gogo takes his main naval fleet into Vulcanius, the underworld of the Elven pantheon. Their goal is to hunt down the Apelt leader and locate the stolen physical bodies of the Strike Force members. To reach the Citadel, the fleet must punch through the 9 gates of the Underworld. At the Gate of Anger, the digital blockade is guarded by a fleet of submersible crafts that replicate World War II-style U-boats, commanded by an I version of Admiral Donuts. Through sheer firepower and looted magic, Gogo's armada shatters the blockades. They push their battleships through the final threshold, the Gate of Death, to make landfall at the gates of the Apelt Citadel. Conquering these high-level digital threats serves a larger purpose. The in-game Citadel contains decrypted coordinate data that pinpoints the physical location of the Apelt infrastructure back on Earth. Those digital coordinates lead real-world JSOC operatives and Elven Royal Guards to an encrypted sub-basement bunker in Florida. Inside the facility, the air is cooled with liquid nitrogen to maintain the alien server racks. This facility houses a row of high-end immersion VR pods. Inside them are the physical bodies of Gogo, Kevlar, and the rest of the Camelot strike team, guarded by 20 heavily armed mercenaries. Back inside the game, the strike team coordinates an offensive maneuver. Merlin hijacks the physical hard light projectors in the real-world lab, devices usually meant for simple diagnostics, and supercharges them with server-side magic. Translucent golden projections of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table manifest in the Florida bunker. These are constructs of weaponized code. Sir Lancelot moves as a golden blur, his blade cleaving right through the concrete pillars and shattering the mercenaries' ballistic shields. This extraction proves that digital code, manipulated from inside a game engine, can directly inflict lethal kinetic damage on physical combatants in the real world. The success of the operation triggers a total collapse of dimensional boundaries. The Apelts use dark magic to manifest a dreadnought directly into physical reality, shattering the barrier separating Earth from the Avalon universe. With the barrier gone, world-ending threats previously contained by the game's code begin dissolving reality. The Titan Kronos ascends from the planetary core, while the elder god of death, Neuralis Anilor, towers over the battlefield. The underlying mechanics of the world shift. Stat caps and ability cooldowns no longer exist. As Lancelot observes, players who wait for cooldowns or look for mana that doesn't exist in reality are easily defeated. To survive, the squad must undergo ascension. Kevlar is the first to transform, shedding the limitations of a standard avatar. He internalizes the raw energies of deep space, becoming a mythic figure radiating with violet nebula fire. This transformation marks a departure from their previous reliance on game-given stats. Merlin notes that to defeat a god, the strike force can no longer just master the system. They must project their own will to define the foundation of reality itself. Gogo uses Merlin's staff to rip a backdoor through the code. The squad finds themselves on the deck of their ship, the Viper, sailing through the silver liquid of a cosmic slipstream in deep space. The narrative moves from the digital boundaries of Avalon into a dimension-hopping space opera. The squad no longer seeks to beat a game, but to survive the vacuum of space. With Kevlar ascended and the crew preparing to break their own limits, the strike force sets coordinates for Earth. Their destination is Washington, D.C. Gogo stands at the helm of the Viper alongside a crew of demigods, ready to introduce their interdimensional magic to the United States Navy. Strike Force 11 closes the chapter by successfully bridging ancient primordial magic with modern military technology, turning a digital conflict into an intergalactic war on Earth's front lawn.